All right. Well, welcome to episode 59 of Blue Gamer Bluecast. Hopefully, everyone had a nice Thanksgiving that celebrates Thanksgiving. Hopefully, you were satisfied with your meals. I didn't eat a whole lot. I'm trying to take it easy there. But what's cool about Thanksgiving, though, is playing video games. I have memories that go back pretty far of during this time when there's no school or no work. There's those certain games that have come out, and I'm curious what everyone's kind of favorite little, Thanksgiving time game or holiday game they've played. One that jumps out to me for some reason is Assassin's Creed. I think it was just around a time where I'd already moved out of my parents' house. I think, yeah, it had been a while. But my brother was still there, and so I think I went over there with my Xbox and we hooked them up and we were just playing like Assassin's Creed separately or something. I don't know why I'm remembering that. Just kind of fun times. Another one was at my house when my family came and World at War had just come out, and I think I wasn't going to pick it up, but then I just decided to, and then I got it, and then my brother and I, again, playing World at War. I'm trying to think of some other games. I know recently it's been Call of Duties. Call of Duties tend to have come out around that time, so I would be playing those. I was thinking Ghost of Tsushima would be the one for me, but I'm almost done with that game, and I kind of don't want to finish it yet. I kind of want to wait for a time where I feel like I can just sit and take my time. Right now, I guess I'm playing fast-paced games like Halo and the Gundam Battle Operation, which I'll get to in a little bit, the Code Fairy version, but yeah, what are some other cool Thanksgiving or holiday games? And then I'm trying to go back as far as I can. And a lot of the ones that I can think of when I was younger, it just happened to be more around the Christmas holiday or the summer. I remember getting an Atari and a bunch of Atari games, but that was like the summertime. It was a 2600. Yeah, and the Sonic the Hedgehog on the original Sega Genesis, again, that was Christmas, so I have more Christmas feelings toward that. But moving forward, I know, again, even with, like, Dreamcast, maybe N64, I think I'm getting some Zelda Ocarina of Time / Rogue Squadron vibes, so that could be it. And then Dreamcast, that was an awesome time when Dreamcast came out. I think it was around that time. I remember playing Marvel vs. Capcom, King of Fighters. I think that was a little later, though. And then I remember I was going back. This was after, I think the Dreamcast had already failed, that I was still playing like the tennis game they had on there, Virtua Tennis, that was really good. And I remember, going to my parents, plugging that in, and I'd play Virtua Tennis. And then maybe, you know what? With the original Xbox, it was Dead or Alive 3. I know Halo came out also, but it was Dead or Alive 3 that I just loved. That was when I was playing a lot. So anyway, yeah. Right now, though, it's Halo Infinite. That's the game to be playing right now. And it's crazy because really the combat and the game mechanics are just on point. It is just perfect. And even without that player collision, I don't know. I would think players can bump into each other, knock each other off ledges, or when you're going on that, platform or whatever that springs you forward. Maybe that could be another mechanic. Maybe they decided to leave that out. But other than that, it still has all these physics-based mechanics going on where I'm grappling, throwing those energy boxes, whatever they're called. But I guess let's get more into Halo Infinite, shall we? So I know it's a beta, although they said this is final, everything's going to show up in December. To me, for one, it was weird when they showed off Halo and then they said they were going to delay it for another year. And what they showed, too, it was like, it's Halo, it should be fun, but it was like, what is this? And then when it came out, playing the core mechanics of Halo right now, it works and it's fun. But there's something else about it where, and let me maybe frame it like this. It's almost like when they were, when they were going to show it off for E3, whenever that was, to come out in 2020, it's almost like they're like, oh, yeah, we have to make a Halo game. We haven't made it yet. And I only say that because now that it's out, one, we look at the Battle Pass, and it's like baby's first Battle Pass. It's so simple. It's so basic. It's for the amount of things that I see other games do. And sure, I can say Fortnite. Fortnite kind of started that, and they've kind of led the way. But then other games have picked up and went crazy. Call of Duty, another big title. And we're talking about these. This is not like a small budget game. This is Microsoft's like major IP. I want us to remember that this is their main game. This is what put them on the gaming map, is Halo. So for them to have this battle pass that comes out and is really basic, you get a piece of armor that you can only use on 1 or 2 different cores that are available. And then otherwise you'll get these little challenge swappers. That's the other thing you earn. So it's like, oh, that challenge is too hard for me. I'll swap it with an easier one so I can grind that away to get enough XP to then unlock a left shoulder pad that only works on one dude. And I don't know. It's like the fun. And that's the thing. That's not what Halo's about, right? So it doesn't really matter. But then what is a problem, and it really is an issue, and I am seeing this, and a lot of people are seeing this is all over Reddit, is the fact that they'll have challenges where you have to either play a specific game mode or do a certain thing, so that in the game modes, people will, okay, let's say they have to get a certain amount of kills in Slayer, people load up an objective-based game, they'll just leave it. That way they don't have to play it and waste their time, because really they wanted to play Slayer to get their kills. Or if you have to, let's say you just need to return your flag. So maybe then there's people that aren't bothering to go get the flag because they just need to return it. Now, where it seemed to work but still doesn't is this last one I have that's actually, and this is going to get into a funny story, Stockpile, which I love that mode so much. I love it so much because you have to be at full speed in that. You have to stockpile, you get these little energy cores. There's about 5 of them, I believe, and you have to bring them back to your base. They're randomly dropped in the middle of the map. You bring them back to your base. You got to plug them in. Once all 5 are there, you get a point. And that there's like, you have to do that 3 separate times. And then as all the cores are depleted, new ones will drop down. Well, I'm playing the map. I think it's called Fragmentation. There's this known issue where some cores will drop in an area that players can't even get to. So you can't even go and get the cores. So I'm playing this mode, and actually before I was doing our Fragmentation was another map, and my team was losing. So people on my team were quitting because the challenge says win Fragmentation. So if you start losing and you see the timer going down, people just leave, and I hate that. You never know. I've turned around. I've joined games and turned it around. I know it's possible to do, so I kind of stick in there. So with this new match I was playing on Fragmentation, we were losing, and then we were winning, and then it was tied 2-2, and there were 4 cores total that were available on the map, and it was sudden death. No more were dropping down. The ones that had dropped were in the middle of the map, like on the mountain, but like in the mountain above the little middle hallway area, so no one could get to the core, all right? So all the game ended up being was back and forth of stealing and, and then bringing it back, and then stealing and bringing it, and it was constantly going on back and forth. And after a while, I'm like, wow, this game's just going to keep on going. And then slowly people started quitting because no one else is really going to want to play, because it's never going to end. Like, is it really never going to end? I mean, I noticed when people left, it didn't get filled in with bots. I think that's more of a Slayer thing, perhaps, or more of a quick match thing. But not seeing the other cores drop made me think, okay, so this is just then going to be forever. So while I was playing, I did a search, and on Reddit, someone that was playing at that, well, previously, but they were posting at the time they were playing, was saying, hey, big team battle, what is it called? Stockpile. This game has gone on 30 minutes and it's not going to end. And that's crazy. So, I mean, one, that's really just a bug. But two, people are trying to win so bad that this goes back to the point of what I was trying to make about challenges, is the challenges are skewing the way people play. There's even been posts in Reddit of people posting like the chats, I guess, because there's a way you can chat and you can type or whatever. And I have something to say about communication. I'll get to that in a second. But with the chatting, someone was saying like they were, I guess, getting on someone for not going for the objective or not doing anything. They're like, hey, I'm just trying to get the challenge. And, it's crazy because the battle pass that exists and the weekly challenge pass that exists, the free one, it's so minimal what you are getting, but it takes like a lot, especially when you have random playlists. If you're playing Fortnite, you're always in the map you're going to be in that has the challenges you need to do. That's just how Fortnite works. And in Fortnite, there's only one thing to do, and that's the Victory Royale. That's what's going to get you the XP you need, whereas you can just start doing things in the meantime. Now, I don't know why that wasn't such a big deal in Call of Duty, and I just think it's because Call of Duty is a more faster-paced game. I guess it's a little slimmed down into what you need to do as far as challenges. There are some weapons in Halo that are really unique and hard to use, and so sometimes people are just, okay, I know this map has this weapon somewhere. I'm just going to wait and go get it, and then whatever. There's another challenge that required you to use is it called the Hornet or the Wasp? I forget. I think the Wasp. And you need to chain gun some enemies down. And so people were just waiting for it to load and to see who would grab it first. And I was like, man, that's crazy. People aren't actually playing the game for the game. So this goes back to the baby's first battle pass. It seems like Microsoft wanted to spend as little money as possible on this game, even though apparently it has the highest budget ever. I don't know where that money went, let's be honest. I mean, the game looks good, but it's not amazing. You can look at any PS5 exclusive, and that trumps Halo Infinite. I'm sorry, but even though it doesn't matter because Halo looks good enough for what it needs to be. The core mechanics are there. So let's say they paid all that $500 million for the gameplay mechanics to be tight and for the netcode to be perfect, because there's been no network issues. The game has run flawlessly, even in the cloud gaming space, which maybe that's where a lot of that money is going, is to optimize it, because I can be on, I even tried it on a Chromebook, an older Chromebook, to do the cloud Halo Infinite, and it works. Now, it's not as crisp and sharp, but it flows really good. It's smooth in terms of the FPS you need to play a shooter like that. And even though it's funny, on my PC, I don't have the most amazing gaming PC. The gaming PC is pretty good. And so I have to have things set to low, but it runs super smooth, super good. A hiccup here and there, but when I'm doing the cloud version, it is completely smooth the whole time, even though it doesn't look as good. So maybe all that budget went to that cloud gaming of having, hey, it's a free-to-play Halo game. There's so many ways you can play it with the cloud. On an Xbox One, you can cloud game it. So the Battle Pass system is very weak. There's really not much to it. It's very limited. And sure, maybe they did this on purpose because they were trying to draw out the amount of time it takes to get things, when in the store you can drop $10 to $20 on various things all you want all the time. And another thing it could be, which I've seen this with previous games, is also happening with Forza 7, I believe. It happened with a Battlefront 2. It's when you first release a game, have it where it is kind of like a mobile game where it's nickel and diming you. And then after the outcry, change it completely. So up front, they got a lot of money to put back into the game or to show profit on the game. That could be what's really going on here, just because I think Microsoft is smarter than that, and this has happened more than once with big name publishers and developers. And I think it's quite interesting. And so the thing is, this Halo Infinite is just so fun that I'll play it just to play it, to have fun, because again, the mechanics, the physics, the time to die is very short, the time to die is very long in terms of you can kind of change up your tactic on the fly. Like Did I get their shields down or my shields down? Should I switch to my other weapon? Should I throw a grenade? Should I try to grab some cover? There's all these options you could do in the middle of this 1v1 you have sometimes. And so I think that's just, it's been missing for a while. Games like Call of Duty, or what are some other FPSs? And I guess that's why I like that Gundam Battle Operation 2 on PS4 and PS5, because it's a game where it takes time to kill an enemy, and it might even be where you damage the enemy's legs or your legs get damaged, and then it's hard to walk, and you can try to get cover and then go try to repair yourself. So I like games that have the combat systems, but there's enough tactical elements involved to make you think about a lot of different things. In Call of Duty, it doesn't work like that. And Call of Duty is really quick, but that's more about, you can make it long term if it's about making sure you're getting your kills. Just you keep getting your kills to keep yourself alive. But anyway, yeah. So it's very interesting what's been going on with Halo Infinite. I do believe they will change it up. They will probably still have the store. I don't think they're going to change that. What I think they're going to end up doing is changing the progression system with the Battle Pass to have it where I would assume they're going to give more variability to the customization than there is now. So they'll be like, oh, you have those 2 cores. Okay, you can use your shoulder pads on each one. You can use, and they could be your armor loadouts in terms of, this is your armor. Because even the armor has their own kits as well. And yeah, that even goes down another rabbit hole. Yeah, it's very interesting what Microsoft did, and I do think it's on purpose. I really do think. That's why I don't think it's, I say baby's first Battle Pass, but I think they wanted to come at it in a way where it's like, here is the core root of what a Battle Pass really means. Let's see how much money we can make off of it, and this is just a beta. Let's get that revenue, the holidays, Black Friday, people buying the credits in Halo, and then they have that large amount of money to use to maybe it's optics, because they can spend whatever they want on Halo. It's really just to show, hey, Halo makes a lot of money for Xbox, but really Microsoft should be putting whatever money they have into Halo anyway. It's their main gaming IP. I really think they should have Killer Instinct could have, it's just not talked about as much. They kind of just left it to dry. And I mean, it's really good. It's just, they didn't have it continue. They should have really just made a sequel or made another free to play with a bunch of characters. I think from the Dreamcast that Xbox getting dead or alive, I wish Xbox kind of kept up with that and made it exclusive. So it makes me think, what are some other exclusives Microsoft has? They have Forza, and the thing about Forza, I played it and I can't really get into it. I loved Forza Motorsports from before. After a while, it's like, okay, it's kind of the same thing. I'm done. Then Forza Horizon came out. I played a little bit of that, but then when 2 came out, I totally went through Forza Horizon 2, played a ton of that. And then when 3 came out, I played it a little bit. I was like, oh, I've done this. And then 4 came out, played it, and I'm like, yeah, I've done this. And 5, same thing. It's good, but I've done this in an era where there are games everywhere on multiple platforms. And so I think Forza is good in terms of, this is a good system seller for Xbox. This is good for casual people, mainstream. Anyone can jump into Forza and have fun, even though it wasn't really for me. So let's change this up real quick. I wanted to just go through the Halo Reddit real quick. So here's the top post right now on Reddit is for Halo Infinite, literal worst monetization system of all time. The game makes predatory mobile games look consumer friendly. Yeah, I agree. Every once in a while, I pull out my phone and I'm like, what's a game I can play for? Because I just happen to be something or doing something where I have an urge to play a game, but I'm not around a console. But every time I look at these games, it's like, okay, I can play this, but I really have to pay to advance. Now, and I do this. I'll look, okay, is there an option to I can just buy everything and then play the game? Or I look at paid games that are on mobile, and I'll see, oh, those are just games I can play on my PC. I'd rather just do that. And that's kind of what Halo's missing here. From the previous Halos, you'd pay $60, $50 or $60, get your game, and get everything. Now, they could have done that and just had a battle pass, and here's now extra stuff you can get with the battle pass. I mean, really, they should have had the core content for a $60 price. Because now you can buy Halo for $60, but it's just the campaign you're getting, and the multiplayer is free. So let's remember, the multiplayer is free, so it's not like they can just give everything away for free. But I really do think if you pay $60 for the campaign, you get all the customization options, or the potential to unlock them without paying for a battle pass, but then have a battle pass you can pay for that has battle pass only items. Now, I'm cool with that. Like, for instance, they can have it where, like Halo 5, look at all the customization that was in Halo 5 and what's in the Master Chief Collection. It's crazy. Have it where Halo Infinite comes with that if you buy the $60 version. Now, if you pay for the Battle Pass, then you get what I think is a good idea. What they're doing is, right now, it's the Heroes of Reach. So have it where it's Reach-specific content since you're paying for the $10 Battle Pass. Then have it where it's Halo 3-specific content. And have it themed based on things that are not related to Halo Infinite, but Halo Infinite has its core armor customization already in there that you can get in the progression system. Because now when you look at your Battle Pass, it's like your rank is your Battle Pass rank. Before, your Halo rank would be how well you did in the game or how you played the game, but it's not like that anymore. It's now how you're doing challenges. Oh, did you happen to play 3 stockpile matches? Did you happen to melee 25 people? Like, that doesn't necessarily translate to skill. That, and then you just see the number, whereas the rank had a rank badge like Call of Duty has, like previous Halos had, like Gundam Battle Operation has. So it's very interesting. And so no service record at all, not in-game, not on Halo Waypoint. Halo Tracker only keeps a record of your last 100 games. Yeah, it's very slimmed down. Again, it seems like all the money went into the netcode and the gameplay mechanics. No way to progress through the battle pass without completely idiotic challenges that negatively affect how people play. Yeah, and that's what I was talking about before. Games are affected. People will just leave games, and sometimes you not realize it until you go to look at your score and you see someone's called 343 something. That means that's a bot. Someone left. Maybe they didn't think they're going to get their challenge. A lot of times it has to do with winning. They don't think they're going to win. They're just going to leave. And really, a lot of the XP from challenges should be from when you complete a match and you've got this many kills and you've won, or have a thing where you carried the flag. Because there's a lot of times where I'll play capture the flag matches where no one can get the flag. But I can get it far. It's just that the team, because they don't have the ability to get the flag, it's really I can't carry the game on my own, but I can get it far enough for them to then bring back. I'd like that at the end, if we won and I had a certain time that I was carrying the flag, I'd get XP for that. And even oddball. There's oddball games where I've held it the whole time, and not the whole time, and got a lot of kills, and it's like, I'd like that to translate to XP. But it's weird, because then this kind of goes back to the matchmaking, almost like the ranking with the battle pass being just based on the challenges and not based on the skill. That's making the matchmaking where anyone's going to be matched with anyone. It's very weird. It certainly is weird. And then, someone's bringing up Battlefield 2042 now. I've only played the beta, and that just seemed like there was nothing coherent occurring with that game. I've played the past Battlefield games, and I've had fun, but this one, it was an easy pass. It's unfortunate, and so, I don't know, unless this, and EA and Microsoft work together a lot for a lot of things, like their EA Origin being part of the Battle Pass, or the Game Pass, I'm sorry. So it's almost like Microsoft's like, hey, we're going to release Halo, and we're going to have a crazy monetization system. So how about you just kind of churn out some Battlefield, make it 2042. So it's not too far in the future. Just make weapons and things seem a little more advanced, make it big, and then just release it. Because that's what seemed like happened. So then, EA's getting revenue from Microsoft because of their deals. And then Halo then gets the limelight, and it has the core gameplay that everyone likes, so you can't complain. But it's really milking everybody. Let's see. What else is going on here? Oh, I like this. The little... there's so many times where two people kill each other with a melee. You know, what's also interesting is I like that when two people have the sword, the power sword, I think that's what's called, and they go to attack each other, energy sword, yeah. And you can like kind of clash the swords. When someone has a hammer and you have an energy sword, it seems to be the hammer can push back the sword. Not push it, and not like the typical way that the energy hammer hits down and knocks someone back, but I'll clash the person at the same moment the hammer is, and I'm just pushed back a bit. I kind of like how that melee works there. So yeah, for the record, 343 has stated there won't be any new maps or modes on 12.8. So there's not gonna be any new maps or modes. I mean, at least split Slayer and objectives, because there are times where I just want to slay. There are times when I really want to do objectives, and really I just want to do objectives. I'm really into that. And especially when the challenge is like win 3 stockpile games. Okay, so one, I have to hope that, with the limited time I play games a ton, and really I want to be able to slim that down. So if the limited time I'm playing, if I'm going to join a game and it's not stockpile, I then have to wait later. Okay, hopefully later my game will be stockpile, and then it is stockpile, but then you lose, and then it's like you have to keep waiting, and it's like, if it gives you the choice to do it, then people are forced to play stockpile. They won't feel that they have to quit the game to join another one, and then it will make people really play it. So, let's see. Oh, okay. Here's, if your challenge in Infinite doesn't specifically say in PvP, it can be completed in bot matchmaking. Okay. Bot difficulty is pretty low, so finishing some weapon challenges there is a breeze. That is cool. So anyway, yeah, I could talk about Halo all day, and it's this split right now where I'm super happy how the gameplay mechanics turned out in the netcode and everything, but I'm a little disappointed in the challenges only because it makes people play differently. Again, I'll play games that people are just quitting or they're not trying because they don't need to, especially if in stockpile, if there's not a stockpile challenge that's a big current active one, people don't even try in stockpile. When people try and stockpile, that's an amazing mode. And I think I had another point, but you know what? I talk too much and I forget. So, next up, so curious, what, if anything, did anyone get anything for Black Friday or plan to? I saw a part of this is me lazy. I didn't really want to spend a lot of money for Black Friday, but there was this Xbox controller. I want to get another Xbox One controller. One, so I have one at my PC and one on the Xbox, but also the one I have is drifting, the right thumbstick, and there may be a way to fix that, but it moves up or doesn't move. It depends my inversion of but it moves by itself, which is too bad. I'm dealing with it for now, but GameStop had a deal, $50, which is good. It's cheaper than they normally are, and it was for a neon green one that looked really cool. And it was telling me, check out in the next 5 minutes, and we'll have it to you by 9. And so I went and did the purchase, and then it kept telling me like it can't complete the transaction. And it wasn't due to the payment or anything. And I guess it probably has something to do with that they're not going to be delivering it to me. I could have ordered it, but then I'd have to pay shipping. Although I wonder if it's free shipping at that. But then it was going to come next week, and I was like, I could just go up there. And then I was like, but do I want to go up there? I don't know. That's when I tell myself, did I really want to buy it in the first place? It's like with the PS5, I'd want another PS5 controller, but they're so expensive. And luckily you can use, the Xbox One controllers on the Series X. So They're not as good, but it's good enough. I have an elite that I use, but you know the elites, you've probably heard that they break down easily. Mine, that bumper's a little messed up. Sometimes it doesn't register. I fixed it, but it still kind of does it. So, but let's look at this on Steam, their autumn sale. So this is 24th through 1st, so it's not Black Friday specific, but okay, Sea of Thieves, $23. I tried playing that before, couldn't really get into it, but it is on Game Pass. Back for Blood, I'm sorry, but this game really isn't that great, and most people that do play it, they don't even play it for that long. I don't know what it is, because it seems like it would be cool. In fact, like, it made me go back and play Zombie Army 4, which I love. That's a game I'm going to rant about sometime if I didn't already. Zombie Army 4, excellent zombie game. So many intricacies to the gameplay mechanics, to the unlocks, to the characters, the skins you get. The DLC is incredible. It's like you're buying extra games. They even have some maps that are just open world levels that you do multiple objectives in. Yeah, so Back 4 Blood, and then New World, and we've probably heard all about that, right? That it's not doing too great, but, you know, I'm not an MMO person. I want to be. I just try to play, and the gameplay just doesn't pull me in, because it seems like it's more about the atmosphere in the world, storytelling, and not necessarily the gameplay mechanics. Let's see what else. Frostpunk. You know what? This seems like it would be cool, and I tried it one time, and I was stuck, and then I just gave up. That's dumb, right? I think it was even the tutorial. Sometimes if something doesn't click with me, and I'm not like obsessed to figure it out, I'll just move on. There's some games where, like Bloodborne, that first boss, I was so obsessed to beat it because I felt like there was something there I could figure out, and I did. That's my favorite game. Let's see. Old game. I always see this pop up. It's always, the Shadow of War is always being promoted, even now. I don't know if that's just a big seller and it continues to be. I remember when I first played it. And, you know, this is that sequel. Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool, but it was too much like the original, and I just kind of moved on. Doom, another one that always seems like it's... And that's the thing, I beat the first Doom, and then the second one, I got pretty far both on PC and Xbox. For some reason, I'd be more wanting to play it on PC or just on Xbox, but I never really cared to finish it. Don't know why. Hey, Knights of the Old Republic, you know? Oh, no, this is the Old Republic. Oh, MMO free-to-play. Is that your Black Friday sale, really? I guess it's about Steam Awards, so... Okay, this Aliens game. You know, this game has great gameplay, but there is not much to it. I was super excited for it when it came out. And if they come out with more content, I'll jump back in and play, but even with the matchmaking issues at the beginning, it kind of put me off because I wasn't able to matchmake with anyone, and yeah, that was a whole thing. Death Stranding, that's a pretty good price. I have not played it though. Don't know if I will. Yeah, I mean, and from people I've heard of that played it, it's like they played it and then never really finished it or beat it. Ooh, some Sonic games here. You know what? This Sonic Lost World is pretty intriguing. I almost want to get this because that is cheap. $7. So it was originally on Wii U, and it has those Zelda levels, and it was different than most Sonic games, but it was still kind of fun. It was kind of hard, and, you know, for $7, that's pretty good. And then also, and I don't think it's on here, but Sonic Colors is a recent release, and that is a good one. I beat that on, I think it was Wii. I remember I got to the last boss, and then it was at that time something happened in my life. I forget. I like maybe moved, or maybe I had just rented it and I had to take it back, you know, Gamefly. And then it took me years later. I bought it again. It was cheap, and then I still had my save. Went to the last boss. Eggman, beat him. Let's see. Anything else cool on here? Oh, Zombie Army 4. There you go, people. $20 if you haven't played this. And when you first start it in your first moving, you might think it feels like more of a mid-tier or AA game. But you get over it, and the combat is tight. So then you get it reminds me of like when you're playing, I don't know if anyone agree with this, but Grand Theft Auto, the controls of Grand Theft Auto. I think those are worse, but there's that. And then Squadrons. Wow, when this came out, and it still is great. I played it VR. Excellent game. It's just something about it didn't keep me going. I'd only want to play it on joystick. I could not play it on a gamepad, and maybe I didn't give myself enough of a chance, but then it was like I had to set it up. I had to have it somewhere where I can use the gamepad, and it was just a little too cumbersome for me. But I loved it. I played through the campaign. I played a lot of the multiplayer. I don't know. It just seemed like, I don't want to be mean because a lot of great developers are on this, but it seems like it was half-assed. It had like a very slim budget when this is Star Wars. I mean, and speaking of Star Wars, you probably heard Battlefront 3, EA says they're not doing it. Something about the amount it costs to pay licensing just doesn't make it doable. And yeah, that's probably what affected Battlefront 2. Battlefront 2, yeah. Was which is sad. Disney needs to they need to know that the video game medium is huge. It's on par or making more than the film industry. I mean, look, Disney and Netflix is starting to have games that you can then play by being a Netflix subscriber. Disney has so much IP that they can make into games. They already have games that use their IP. They could have on Disney Plus a gaming channel. You just pick up a Disney Plus controller and then you just cloud stream any Star Wars game. Then they can start making these badass first-party Disney Star Wars games. And I don't know why they're not doing it. Maybe the cost up front's a lot, sure. You can see with Amazon and Google Stadia how they kind of, and even Xbox to an extent, shied away from putting a lot of money into first-party games. It's really Sony that's the only ones doing it. And the only reason I think so is because Sony can't rely on some sort of large backbone server-based infrastructure. I mean, even with their PS Now coming out, they had to acquire another company for that, and it's not as good as Stadia or Game Pass. So I think that's why Sony's all in on that first party. They kind of make it similar to their movies, and I think that's a good niche they've got where they could even have their own service where it's like, here's all Sony movies and Sony games all in one service that you can stream. So, yeah, that's me giving bad ideas to publishers. So, yeah, don't listen to me. Let's look at the Xbox stuff going on here. Oh, you know what? I want to show something. R-Type. Oh, did I even... Yeah, I didn't even type it in right. So it's on sale. R-Type Final 2. I've had this on my wish list even on Xbox and PS5. It's the cheapest it's ever been. It's $31.99. And while that's a good price, it's like I kind of... it's not like I super need this game right now, and I'm trying not to just spend my money unless it's something I super want. But, I mean, look at that. I mean, R-Type, I mean, really, I want another Gradius, if anything. But, yeah, remember Gradius? What was the last one? Was it 5 on PS2? That's probably the best shmup I've ever played. But, yeah, back to Xbox. So they have a lot of the same deals that you'd probably see everywhere else for the major party games. I'm sure, Ubisoft is like, hey, we want some games that are on sale. One thing I did pick up, because it was only $20, was Hitman 3. Because Hitman 3 is kind of a recent release. It's really good. I have the first 2 on Stadia. I played through the first 2 on Stadia in 60 FPS 4K. Amazing that Stadia runs so good. So I was like, well, I'll get the third one, because if you have them all on the same platform, there's like cross progression of items that you can use. So now, yeah, there is a more expensive version because all the DLC, and I haven't got that. But for now, I'll just play through the story. Anything else I could recommend? Who would recommend Cyberpunk? Man, that discussion died fast once people started talking about how... and it's funny, that was the first time I was excited about an open world, narrative-driven RPG, because I don't care about narrative-driven games, especially if they're RPGs. But with Cyberpunk, it just looked so promising. I was like, of course I'm going to play that. And of course it was not what they said it was going to be. If it was what they said it was going to be, I would totally be into it. But yeah, we saw how that went. Ooh, Control is only $11.99. I suggest... I didn't beat it, because it kind of got samey as it went, but I suggest that. Lost Judgment. This looks good. I have not played it. I would like to get it, but $41.99 now. I'll wait a little bit, just because, again, it's a narrative-driven game. So, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, $19.99. I think that's totally worth it. Immortals is $20. Immortals is great. Funny, I haven't beat that. I'm at the very end, but it's like once you beat the boss, you can't do all the other things. So I just kind of haven't. I don't know why I do that. I'm doing that with Ghost of Tsushima. I'm doing that with Immortals. Maybe it's some sort of strange depression style neurological thing where it's like I can't face the end of the game. I would get depression when I was done with a Dark Souls title. That was it'd be crazy. I wouldn't know what to do with myself. But ooh, okay, here we go. $5. That's taken a long time to load for this Arcade Classics collection. Let's see. Oh, is that a Castlevania or whatever was before Castlevania, whatever they call that, and then something like that, Nemesis, and yeah, $4.99. I might do that. We'll see. I think, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, well, yeah, thanks for watching. That was episode 59 of the Blue Gamer Bluecast. Yeah, let me know what you got on Black Friday. I'm kind of curious what everyone got, and you never know. They make these sales last a little longer now, just, because things can be on sale and it doesn't really matter, but it makes people buy things, and I might get something later. Who knows? I'll talk about it next time. And then, yeah, however your Thanksgiving was, hopefully it was great. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll talk next time.